In this movie titled Naan, directed by Jiva Shankar, we have Vijay Antony, the music director, former music director, now changing his profession and becoming a hero in a Tamil movie. The heroine is Rupa Manjari. I've not seen her before. I haven't seen her since. But she's there in the movie. She's got things to do rather than things to say. So she's able to pull it off quite well. But here in this story is all about naan. That means I, not to be mixed up with the Punjabi roti. It's not that naan. It's just me. So the story is about identity theft. Identity theft, as you know, is a serious problem these days. Credit cards and other bits of electronic information or electronic storage devices are manipulated so that you can create a new identity for yourself. You'll be born as something, but thanks to all these kind of things, you can change it, create new histories, even be seen on the net. People can prove things. So identity theft is not something that is unusual. So here in this story, an identity theft takes place. The movie starts quite dramatically. There's a young boy, and he's been hauled up by his headmaster because he forged some signature of some other boy's parents. So the headmaster says, go home and bring your parents. You know, a typical school boy thing. So he goes home in the middle of the day and he finds his mother in a compromising situation with his own uncle. So he watches them and then he doesn't say anything. That uncle leaves quietly, though the mother realizes that the son has seen her in this position. So she begs him not to reveal it to his dad. But for whatever reason, as soon as the father walks in, the first thing goes and tells him is, you know what, uncle was here at this time and mother and he were locked up in the room there, the bedroom. So the father is humiliated beyond words and he hangs himself, which is very traumatic for the boy. And then to add more fire, or fuel to the fire, next day that same guy comes back in again. So that time he bolts the door from the outside and sets fire to the entire hut. And he goes and waits outside for whatever is going to happen. So it's not that he ran away. So he's put into juvenile prison, postal, I think they used to call them. And the next thing you know, he's a grown-up man, and that is Vijay Antony. So he's released from prison. His jailer tells him, listen, now live a straight life. Gives him some money and something. He goes off. And he boards a bus. And on the way, he finds that, not on the way, as he gets on the bus, another man comes and sits on the seat next to him. They don't talk much to each other. But on the way, the bus has an accident and it topples over, falls into a ravine or a riverbed. And then everybody's hurt and dazed. And he gets up and he tries to wake up this guy sitting next to him and finds all full of blood on his face and looks like he's dead. So he notices the key of his suitcase, which he had placed on the rack above. That's lying there. So he takes the suitcase, and he quietly walks away from the bus. Happens all the time in the noise and the confusion of an accident. Who wanders off where? Nobody can actually recollect later. So this man just walks away. And he goes to Madras and then he opens the suitcase, finds out that this guy was actually a student going to get himself admitted in a medical college. He's got fantastic marks, but his name is Salim. And in the movie, Vijay Antony is a Hindu by the name of Karthik. And then he decides, let me assume this guy's identity. And from there, he goes into a series of maneuvers and events that will help him stay as Salim. He observes Muslim traditions, goes to a mosque, learns how to pray like them. So he does quite a convincing lot. And then he goes to college. He's admitted in college because he got brilliant marks. How the hell he went into medical college, don't ask me. That's the funny thing in the movie, but let's say worse things have happened. Because he's got the marks to prove, so they must have assumed that he is, and he's a good student. So he manages somehow in college. Let's not go into details about that. But in college, he befriends another rich guy who then invites him to come and stay with him. His parents live abroad, so he says, I got a big house, you're welcome to stay with me. And from there, a series of events, some which will eventually become tragic, because in his anxiety to protect his identity and not let anybody else know that Karthik is actually, or rather Salim is actually Karthik, he commits a crime. He kills his friend and he kills a friend's friend. And so he gets deeper and deeper embroiled in this whole thing. But he manages very smartly, very cleverly, or he's an intelligent guy. So even when the police who investigate all these things send somebody to his hometown to check out who is this Salim and whether his background is correct, he already manages to find his way into his so-called home, where his obviously his mother is dead by then, I guess, and the only the old man, the father, is alive, and he's an invalid. He's paralyzed, can't talk. So he realized that quickly, and he's already inside the house when the police come to do a verification. And they come inside, they see him, and they say he says, "I am Salim." Shows in the photograph. He looks like the guy in the photograph. And while the policeman is there, he goes and picks the old man out and takes him to another room, like he's taken him to the toilet, and he takes him back and puts him back on his bed. So the policeman departs, saying that, oh, it has to be his father, so must be the right person because he's not protesting. Little did they know that this man is paralyzed, he can't talk. So Salim, or rather Karthik, tells the old man in his ear that I'm here to look after you. Your son died, I know that, I was with him, but maybe he will live in me and I can continue the good work that he ought to have done as a doctor. So it leaves scope for a sequel, which I'm sure is in the offing. And the film was produced by Vijay Antony and his wife. So there's every chance that you'll see him again in another movie. Maybe a continuation or maybe a new one. But that's the movie. He's done the music himself. And it's overall very cleverly worked out movie with minimum cast, done an extremely good job, and a movie worth watching. That's Naan.